Peace, 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 peace. What's going on, guys? Hope all is well. Hope all is well, huh? How you guys doing today, man? How was your day? Good? I hope so. I would believe so, huh? Day above ground is always a fantastic day. I mean, if I say so myself, believe that. You know? We here. It's Friday going into Saturday. End of the week vibes. How was your week, man? How was your week? Was your week well? Was it productive? That's more important. You have a productive week, huh? Hopefully you wasn't just treading water, doing nothing with yourself. If you do, put the Mossberg in your mouth. If you did that, wasn't doing nothing with yourself all week, that's crazy. All right? But I know y'all know better than that. Y'all not gonna do that. Y'all gonna stay focused, right? I know. I know what's good. But yeah, we out here. This is a Friday night tap in. Normally I'm on it Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. But man, the YouTube gods don't want your boy to win. I'm telling you, they've been putting up a hassle, putting up a hassle for me not to really load up. I had content set, loaded up, ready to go, locked and cocked, ready to go from Monday, and I was only able to upload it today or Friday, to be exact. It's crazy. It took me 4 days to go through the process of loading up content. So I already see the YouTube overseers, overlords, gonna give me a hassle, especially when you're talking about putting up that solid God body content. You know what I mean? If I was posting up some trash like Sexy Red, that'd probably be no problem. I guarantee you, there'd be no problem. But it's all good. We're here for the fight. We don't bend, we don't fold. You feel me? We don't bend, we don't fold. We don't back down or retreat. All right? We keep going straight ahead. And we gonna show them who's who, right? Yeah. But we here. Nonetheless, we still here. We still putting in the work. Work don't stop. I just got off work and now I'm back to work. But we here to get it. We're here to get it, man. Nonetheless, it's here for the taking, so we gonna take it. But yeah, we here. Yeah, we here. But this is a light tap in tonight. It's a light tap in, just to keep the festival feelings in the algorithm. Keep me in the algorithm. I got the story for the night. This is what is this? This is a Aroma de Cuba. Aroma de Cuba. And this is one of my go-tos. It's one of my go-tos. Like if I go to a spot that I've never been to before, and they may have a decent selection or one that's looking kind of subpar, everyone's gonna have an Aroma de Cuba. I can guarantee you that. And this specific model is the El Jefe. I think it's well fitting for somebody like myself, the boss. But we ain't talking about Rick Ross, baby. All right, it's the boss, Rick Ross. Well, not Rick Ross. This is the El Jefe from Aroma de Cuba. Pretty decent smoke. This is a medium to bold. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's a fact. But yeah, we here for a light tapping. The cigar is toasted and the tea is hot. Oh yeah. Nice end of the week spoils, if I say so myself, But yeah, we here, man. We here. We not we not lacking, even if we can't do it the days that I would prefer to do it, the days that I have set to do it. Right? Which is again, like I said, Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Sunday and Thursday are actually our general topics, hot topics of the day, trending topics, right? primarily. That's Sunday and Thursday. And Friday and Monday is Manhood Mondays. So what I posted up today is actually Manhood Mondays from Monday that is past, right? But it's there. It's in the algorithm. It's there for you to absorb and to, you know, take in and do with it what you will. All right. And Monday coming up, we're gonna have to take it up a little bit notch, a little notch. We're gonna take it up a little notch, okay? Because there's way too much. There's way too much feminine energy out there as it relates to so-called men, males perpetrating a fraud to be men. They don't know what it is, but that's why I said I'm coming, bringing the bullet points, right? So that way there's no cause or room for confusion going further, right? Standards must be set, standards must be met. All right, that's how we do it. Yeah, but on Sunday we're gonna tap in with the the trending hot topics. Two main topics I'm gonna touch on Sunday. Two main prime topics. One is this narrative that's been floating around, and I've been meaning to touch on this for a hot minute, but slipped my mind. Had other things I wanted to tend to and address. Now it's packed back up into the algorithm, right? And it's perfect time. It's no time like the present to address it, and it will be addressed on Sunday. Stay tuned for that on Sunday. All right, but this narrative about black men in college, yeah, they always got something to say about the gods, you know what I mean, about the original man. But I expect nothing less. Expect nothing less. When you know, you know. All right, I expect nothing less. Okay, but it's a narrative that's trending that the original man is considered not by all, by only a certain segment of people to be behind or less than because they don't go or tend not to go to universities of higher learning, right? Or higher indoctrination. That's a better fit. That's a more fitting title, right? But because we choose not to go to universities or institutions of higher indoctrination / learning, at the same rate of our so-called black counterparts, meaning the so-called black woman, right? Some people might say, man, that's a tragedy. Some people might say that's problematic, right? I say your response to everything. Now, this is a richism. You're going to get a whole lot of richisms. Take notes, all right? Take notes. But this is one of my prime richisms. Peep this. Peep game, right? Your response to everything is rooted in how you perceive yourself, right? Your response, I'm going to say it one more time. Your response to everything is rooted in how you perceive yourself. So even when you hear the BS, narratives is trying to be pushed out there, right? How you respond is going to be based off of how you perceive yourself. So when I hear those narratives, I'm just going to give you a small little tidbit. You can tell I can't wait to get to it. You're going to get to it, right? But when you hear these, when I hear these narratives, which is supposed to be a pat on the back, right? Supposed to be a badge of honor. When I hear those narratives about the counterparts, that says to me, it says to me when I hear about my counterparts who go to college to get indoctrinated at a higher rate than black men. That says to me, two main things are being said at the same time, right? Number one, that says that same black woman is the most compromised in the nation. The most compromised in the nation. Economically, she's the most compromised, right? You know why? Because she has the greatest barrier to wealth. She's the greater hindrance to wealth because of all the debt that she's piled up. And the further she wants to go in her so-called education, the more debt she's gonna rack up, and it's more difficult it's gonna be for her to acquire wealth. Right? At the same time, that says to me that the person with the easiest access to wealth, the person that's not bogged down with the most amount of debt, it's God in the flesh, the original man. The original man. Right? Because we're not bogged down with the same amount of debt. We don't have the same barrier to wealth that they may have, right? So I'm going to break all that down. You know what I'm saying? You know, people try to use a narrative in their situation to boost their standing. Nah, it's all a facade, bro. All right? And we're gonna rip that whole thing apart. We're gonna break it all the way down. We're gonna show how the God, the original man, right? God body in the flesh is the one that's most prime to get to wealth. The most prime to get to wealth. Okay? And there's reasons for everything. Okay? But when you search to learn, not search to make yourself right, that's when all truth will reveal itself to you. All right? So that's number one. So that's one thing that's going to be covered on Sunday. The second thing that's going to be covered on Sunday also is over in Louisiana. In Louisiana, they just had a vote on a few amendments. Right? I'm sure you probably heard about it. 50 Cent was involved with the promoting of certain amendments in Louisiana, more specifically Shreveport, Louisiana, right? Which is the prime location to invest also. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. All right? Louisiana is going to be the next hotspot. Pay attention. All right? Anyway, they tried to get 50 Cent to promote it, or to promote a specific amendment to their Louisiana Constitution, right? Now, if you don't know what amendments are, you should be ashamed of yourself, right? But you can still up your cognition. Just find out what an amendment is. Find out what the articles are, right? Each state has its own constitution. Do you know what your state's constitution is, other than just the federal constitution, right? But each state has its own constitutions. And so there was adding an amendment to their state constitution in Louisiana. And true to form, the segment of people that has the segment of people that has the lowest cognition as it relates to things of a political matter, unfortunately, and are the same people who also have the loudest mouth, unfortunately, are so-called the black 85%. Let's say it like that. The black 85%. Black, dumb, deaf, and blind, 85%. Now, the general public, most of them are 85%, but more specific to those people because they are in Louisiana at a higher number, right? At a higher number. And they were used as useful tools to tear down Amendment 2, right? Now, when you find out what Amendment 2 is, you're going to be like, whoa, why did you do that? You know why? Because they were duped, like most of the 85% as it relates to the so-called black nation, okay? So those are two main primary points that will be broken down, okay, to its lowest common denominator on Sunday. Pay attention, all right? So stay tuned on that. That's gonna, you know how I give it up. You know how I give it up, all right? You know how I give it up, all right? Straight, no chaser, all facts, no emotion, no I think this or this. Nah, it's just straight, all right? Right knowledge. That's all we deal with over here. Right knowledge, all right? So, yeah. So we're gonna break that down on Sunday. Monday is Manhood Mondays, right? Manhood Mondays, we're gonna break down some other things that need to be broken down as well, because there's a lot of work to do out here for the so-called men. A lot of work to do, a lot. But we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We got here, and if we got here, that means we can get back. All right. So we're gonna touch bases. We're gonna make that workout too on Mondays. And we're gonna make this thing really pop off, man. Okay. I'm gonna break down all of the bullet point um points that is understood culturally in terms of what makes you a man. This is universal understandings of what it is to be a man, right? Because remember, you have to go through a rites of passage in order for you to achieve manhood. It's not just by your age. You have to go through a rites of passage to achieve manhood and to achieve womanhood. All right? So we're going to break down what you must know, what's part of the rites of passage, but it's all for you. Okay? It's all for you, and it's for you to benefit those that are within your cipher that you're taking care of as the sun. All right? Sun, moon, and stars. But what controls the orbit is the sun. All right? So we use natural nature for everything, baby. Natural nature. That's what we're using. That's what we used way back when. This is what we're going to use right now. All right? So, yeah. So, this is a small little tap in, Friday night check in. I'm going to finish up my nice, mild stogie. I do a little bit more work, a little more research and get it done into a fantastic work week. All right. But real hustlers don't stop. We rest, but we still rest 1 hour up. Who said that? Hmm? Who said that? That was one of your great lyricists from the 90s on. All right. Jehovah. Pay attention. Pay attention. Hustlers don't sleep. We rest 1 hour up. But get your sleep, though. It's part of your health, because health is wealth. All right. So we're going to tap in, touch bases, Sunday night. Stay tuned. Get ready. All right. Because we're going to break it all the way down. We're going to break it all the way down. So I'm going to talk to y'all. You guys enjoy your Saturday rest and relaxation. Spend time with your fam. Spend some time with yourself also, because you need that too. You got to recharge. Got to power down. Spend time with yourself, with your fam. And, tap in. Tap in with your self and with your loved ones. All right. I'll talk to y'all Sunday. Stay tuned. It's going to go down. We're going to break it all the way down. All right. So, peace to the fam. As usual. You guys be good.